Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is going to be the first in a possible series. I want to make it a series, but we'll see. This is going to be a story time video. Now, the story I'm going to talk about is that time that I made a animatic while homeless. Do not recommend, but it will keep you occupied. For a long time, I've shied away from talking about being homeless, like I've mentioned it, but I don't talk about it because I feel like that's too much of a downer and people don't want to hear my downer sob stories. But at the same time, it's a life experience and I don't like feeling like I have to fit into the box of the California YouTube influencers that pretend they're rich and happy and bubbly all the time, but they're really renting a mansion with 12 other influencers. That's not me. I'm not going to pretend it is, and I'm not going to pretend I'm a bubbly person. I'm a friendly person. I'm not a bubbly person. There is a difference. Hi Kitty, what you want? So yeah, so we're going to talk about that time that I made an animatic while homeless. It was my Valentine's Day animatic with Enchanted, the Taylor Swift song covered by Owl City. It was Owl City version. I'm not a big fan of Taylor Swift, but that's the song I used. And the story with this is, when I heard the song after not hearing it for a while, I kind of just had this whole scene play out in my head, because the characters are Soldado and Reina of Garrisol. Reina is the queen bee, and he is the grand general, which is kind of like a king, but not really, because they don't have kings. This is my own characters. And I had this whole scene playing about how they met, but obviously I don't know how to draw and animate all of that, so I simplified it for a Valentine's Day animatic, and it wasn't the whole song, it was only a portion of it, and even then it took a while. Now here's my first mistake. I procrastinated until 2 weeks before the day I was going to let it out, which was going to be Valentine's Day. That was my first mistake. Second mistake, I hand drew it all on paper, and considering it was February and I had to draw it outside in the park because I had nowhere to live and no indoor places to go because the library was still closed, and if any part of it that was open had no chairs, fast food places didn't have sit-ins, I had literally nowhere to sit to do it. Yeah, I kind of screwed myself. If you hear sounds, my cat is playing on my desk when I told him not to do that. So I had to draw this outside in the cold with watercolor. I don't know how I'm going to edit this. I'm recording the voiceover first, but at some point you're going to see the drawings being flipped through in my sketchbook. These were all hand drawn. And the problem with me doing this 2 weeks ahead of time, which sounds like plenty of time for just doing stills, is 1, it was done traditional art. 2, I'd had nowhere to do it inside, so I had a limited amount of time because the sun goes down by 6 during the winter, and I couldn't even go there until 10 in the morning. So there's not a lot of time. Plus, I had to work 36 to 48 hours within a span of 3 or 4 days. It would be 12 hours work, sleep for about 5-6 hours, wake up, try and pretend that I'm presentable because I'm homeless, but I can't tell anyone at my job I'm homeless because I don't feel like having the judgment and I don't want to get fired, and it's a whole long thing because homeless people aren't treated very well. Never judge a homeless person without a job. They're going through a lot more than you'll ever imagine. And then go back to work. So I had no time really to do it, because if I'm working and then sleeping and then working and then sleeping and that's it for 4 days and then 3 days, that's a whole week of having to not do it. So I had 1 week to make it. So I would work overtime. I would get less sleep than I was already getting. Mind you, it wasn't good sleep because I was sleeping basically in the trunk of a, I don't know, it's not even a minivan. I don't know what they're called. It's not quite a minivan, but it's not a small car. I don't know what these things are called. It was a Journey from Dodge. You can tell me what that is. So I wasn't getting enough sleep as it was, and I would draw and I would color before going to work, and then do it again, and then do it in the cold. So that alone was a pain. But I don't have a scanner. So I took pictures with my Android tablet. And it's not a very good tablet. It's the cheapest tablet you could get at Walmart. But it was a tablet. I got it because I was bored. It was lockdown, and when you're homeless during lockdown, you have nowhere to go. It's wonderful. So I couldn't use my computer, and I wanted digital art, so I got me a tablet. I had money. Nobody wanted to take my money for me to live anywhere, so I gotta survive somehow. So I did that. But when I was doing it, I had to take a picture, and then I had to cut around it and erase. Now, if you don't use digital editing software, you can usually use a select tool and just select the whole background if it's white. Even if it's like shades of white, if it's close enough, it'll select it and you can just erase it. But because this was Metabang Paint and it's not like an actual program made for this, I basically had to trace around and erase by hand. But that meant I also had to outline by hand, and it doesn't have a stroke feature, and it's very hard to select things because the mobile app is not very good for certain things. So I had to hand outline every one of them after hand cutting out every one of them. So that was traumatizing. I rushed to get it done. I did it. I made the background in Flip-a-Clip. I do recommend Flip-a-Clip if you want to learn how to animate. I do not recommend it to color. It kind of sucks. Animating and then exporting it and then coloring it and inking in something else is a better method, in my opinion. Some people have made great looking things in Flip-a-Clip, but that's beside the point. I made the background, some of them in Flip-a-Clip. Anything that was animated was in Flip-a-Clip. And then all the stills that I used motion for was done in what's it called? Power Director. Now, something you know about Power Director, it thinks it's fancy and wants to be subscription based, so I had to have the ugly watermark on it when I exported it. And also my tablet was so slow that when you watch the Animatic, it looks like timing is off. That's because it is. Inside the project file, it was perfect, and then when I exported and uploaded it using Walmart Wi-Fi in their parking lot, it turned out it wasn't perfect, but I had no time to fix it, and at that point I was so burnt out. I was doing my job wrong when I was at work, and my coworker was like, "Girl, you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm really not." I had to rush this out. Didn't know about the homeless part, I don't think, even though I think more people knew than I think knew, because my hair gets oily within a day, and if I can't take a shower for 4 or 5 days, it's kind of obvious that I'm homeless. But it was traumatizing. Had to outline each individual thing and then trace over it. What is my cat doing? I don't think he knows what he's doing. Yeah, that's the basic story of me making it. Now, when I finished it, I was very proud of it. Besides when I noticed everything was off timing because of the thing. But if I can find the book, I will put in here at some point all the planning. So how I planned was I wrote down the song name. I kind of sketched and doodled out my basic idea with notes of how I wanted to do it. And then I drew all of the pictures in my sketchbook and colored and inked them. They were watercolored, which is another mistake because it's cold outside. So basically it was a tumultuous experience. Hi, kitty! Do you want a purr for the mic? No? Okay, fine. Be like that. Don't swing your tail at me. So, I'm trying to think of anything else I might have forgot. So yeah, it was a very hard process to do, but I am happy with how it turned out in the end, considering what I was going through at the time. When you're going through hell and high water and knowing that no one is going to help you who can, or anyone who wants to help you can't, just enjoy the little things the best you can. Because I was stressed to freak out making it, but feeling like I did something in a situation where I felt like I was going nowhere, I was just suffering in every possible aspect. That was a good feeling. So if you're going through something, please don't give up on the things you like. Right now I'm struggling with trying to be artistic, which I'm happy for my new animatic I'm working on. Please go on Twitch and follow me there if you want to watch it live. The process of me making it. Don't let your situation take away from you. You are not your situation, even though it feels like it. If you're depressed, you are not your depression. If you're lonely, you are not that empty space that you feel on the inside. If you're sad, that's okay, because I grew up being told that negative emotions are just bad. Like, I wasn't allowed to draw negative emotions. I wasn't allowed to express negative emotions. Negative emotions are natural. I would ask politely for you to not live in those, because that can turn into horrible mental illness. If you can get out of that, find ways to distract yourself, vent yourself, pray, meditate, whatever you gotta do. Please do that. Don't stay in the negative emotions, but please don't be ashamed of your negative emotions. There's a reason they're there. And I know a lot of people who watch me probably aren't religious, but God wouldn't create bad emotions for no reason. We have bad so that way there's good. If everything is good, there's no such thing as good. It's just there. So try and look at your bad as, if this is how bad it can get, it will be equally good later. What you want, Kitty? Anything you want to add to that? Anything at all? No, you just want to fight the pens that are on my desk? Okay, go ahead. So yeah, that's my story of when I was working on an animatic while homeless in winter. Because I'm smart. Kitty, I don't want to go to jury duty, but please stop picking on this paper. I might need it. Okay. So with that, I think I'm going to stop. Let me know if you enjoyed it. I have tons of work stories I could give you. Like, so many work stories I could give you. I have homeless stories I could give you. And unlike some people, if you know, you know, I wasn't homeless on purpose. I was homeless against my will. But if you know who I'm jabbing. I'm too late to get on that hate train, but you know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. I hope you enjoyed this style of video. I have plenty of stories I could talk about. But yeah, I'm gonna go now. Thank you everyone for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. And if you've done an animatic, let me know. I might check it out. I like animatics. I feel like not enough people do animatics. So yeah, I will see you all later. Bye.